Oh man, what a beautiful crowd. Yeah. I mean, on the inside.
Nice lid, Joe!
I mean, I don't want to be superficial or anything, or lie to the people over here. Anyhow, so I moved here from Colorado about 5 years ago. Colorado and Oregon have a lot in common, right? I mean, we both said yes to drugs, right? Yeah. And evidently we're big fans of substance abuse. Yeah, fantastic. I actually grew up in Colorado. My mother raised me to be a Catholic girl. So get this. Now imagine, do we have anyone who's under 20? Yeah, okay. Okay, so my mother at 23, right? She has my 3 sisters and me, right? I mean, think about that, 23 years old. I mean, her body wasn't a temple, it was a little Pope-mobile, right? I mean, seriously. And like the first lesson she taught me was, you have to dress like a Catholic girl, right? And it was a hard lesson. And people who know me know this, right? You have to be coordinated, but not matchy-matchy, right? So that's the thing. And it was a tough lesson because my mother, right, just raised me as a girl. So I had my 3 sisters and me. And like, it was tough because she just treated me like a girl, right? She couldn't be bothered to treat me like a boy. So for 5 years, she dressed me in the same outfit as my sisters, which was fantastic, right? And gave me my sense of dress, right? But one thing you gotta know is if you're in an outfit, right, that's matchy-matchy, right? You gotta start there. Anyhow, so one Easter, right, and she sewed for us. And she made us all these hot pink capris with matching tops. I mean, can you picture that? No, I mean, can you picture that? And so I'm like 5, and I'm finally getting the idea that maybe this is not natural, right? So guys are starting to tease me, and I go up to my mom and I say, "Mommy, I don't think these are really boys' clothes." And she's like, "Those are just long shorts, Joe. Roll them up." And I'm like, "No, I'm talking about the tank top." I was supposed to say tube top. It's a lot funnier if I get that. Okay, yeah, I blew that one.
You're okay, Joe!
Yeah, thank you, Ann.
Yeah, Joe!
Anyhow, no, it was totally insane growing up in my house. I mean, my father was schizophrenic. Yeah. But the good thing about having a father who heard voices was I had lots of role models. Yeah, seriously. I mean, there was catatonic dad, right? And he taught me, right, when things are spinning kind of out of control, right, it's okay to take something to kind of smooth out the rough edges. Right, that joke brought to you by Prozac. And then there was Holy Dad, right? Now, my dad believed for about a year that he was the Son of God. Okay, powerful stuff. Not actually Jesus, but the younger brother, right? I mean, he was crazy, but sometimes you're still lucid, and so like 2,000 years younger. I mean, you're a lot less powerful. It takes a while to get there, So like Jesus could turn water into wine. My dad could only turn water into Kool-Aid. But what was awesome about that for that short period, right? I had total bragging rights at school, right? Which was awesome because like the teacher, first day of school, and guys will know this, like the teacher's asking, what their fathers do. Like in the day, they didn't care what mothers did. But anyhow, they're asking the kids what their fathers do. And there was this kid, Craig Simpson. You never wanted to go after Craig because his father was a policeman. Right? So it was done after that. So if Craig went, it was like, yeah, my dad's a policeman. He has a gun. He drives in a police car, right? No one wanted to go after him. But this one year, after I learned that my father was a deity, Craig goes and Mrs. Childress says to me, Joe, what does your dad do? And I'm like, he's a coal miner, and he can cure leprosy, Craig. Right? Beat that. Yeah, I was also awesome at Sunday school. Like, I knew the answers to all the questions. Like, even the tough ones, right, philosophers struggle with. Like, how do we know that God exists? I'm like, he's my granddad. Right? Sparkles the goldfish told my dad, so. Right? Totally awesome. Yeah, no, perfect role model. Yeah, so then there was, I wanted to share with you something. Even, I don't know people who are mentally ill, but if you pay attention, there's a lot of wisdom there. So like my father told me, he came out of this period where he thought he was the Son of God. And he said, Joe, I just want you to remember, right? You're going to make mistakes in life, right? Don't crucify yourself. Right? Have a little faith. You'll be okay. So anyhow, right? There was this other dad, right? Just plain nuts dad. You think just plain nuts dad, right? Things kind of go out of control with someone who has schizophrenia. Like all the ideas just crash together, right? And that's just plain nuts dad. But even then I learned something, right? So he's like, just totally bonkers, but you learn, when things get really rough, you just kind of have to step away from them. You need a little asylum. Right? So Dad would go completely nuts, and he'd get a special comfortable ride over to Pueblo, which is where the state asylum was. My mother was just a joy because she told us, yeah, your dad's going on a business trip. Right? Coal miners on a road trip. That happens. And anyhow, he goes away, and when he's over there, the treatment in those days was electroshock therapy, right? Followed by 3 months of crafting. Right? So it's like a brain taser and macrame. Right? The original shock and right? Fantastic. Right? But the cool thing was, he got to do lots of crafts. And when he came back, right, we had a whole new dad, right? A whole new mindset. It's shocking how they used to treat the mentally ill. Today, right, we have advanced so much, right? Like today, you give them a shopping cart, maybe a nice outdoor space under a bridge in Portland. Yeah, maybe for entertainment, a free pass to a gun show. Fantastic. Yeah, this is the world I grew up in. Yeah. So anyhow, he'd come back, right? And what Crafty Dad taught me was, right, when you go on a business trip, you got to bring your kids home some shit. Right? And not bad stuff. Like there were other dads, right, who went away and stayed in the Hyatt, and they'd bring their kids little bottles of shampoo, right? Convince their kids. I had it specially made for a dollhouse, right? No, not my dad, right? My dad brings us home pottery, right? Hand-woven baskets, right? Maybe some Muppets, right? Because my dad stayed at Hotel Build-A-Bear. Yeah. So anyhow, speaking of schizophrenia, I'm shopping for a new car. That was a smooth transition, wasn't it? Peter, yeah, you will that. No, my friends, seriously, I'm shopping for a new car, right? And my friends who know me know I've been talking about this for about 6 months because it takes me about 2 years to buy a car. So I get kind of confused, so I just renamed them to remind me how I was feeling when I drove them. Yeah, so like the first really nice car that I really liked, it was this amazing SUV. I mean, leather seats inside, had a sound system. I swear I had a little eargasm, right, when I listened to it. I called it the Fuck Global Warming from Cadillac. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I know California is turning into an easy bake oven, right? But if I'm going to be sweaty for 30 years, I want to be comfortable. And I don't mind contributing to these longer summers here and mild winters. It's okay. Right. That was a joke. Insensitive in Portland, I know, especially. So seriously, and I have 2 kids, and they gave me this guilt trip, right? So I thought, okay, I'll go down to Toyota. I'll try the latest hybrids. And I said, okay, I'll try the one that gets the best gas mileage. It's this one I call the eunuch. Yeah. So when you get inside, there's like this little cup holder, right? You're supposed to put your testicles in there, right? Recharge them with testosterone while you're driving, right? So you can walk away with a little pride quickly. Yeah, and anyhow, that was not for me. But I'm thinking, right, why not go for something a little more fun, right? My kids are almost graduated. I've been doing okay at work. And so I think I'm going to go down and try a little 2-seater convertible, right? Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so I go down to the Chevy dealership, right, and I drive a midlife crisis. I mean, it was amazing. Only I sat in it, and I was like, I don't know where to go. Right, kind of like my career. Yeah. And then, but the dealer was amazing. I mean, she gave me some advice. She said, there are some amazing options. Like, you can get a 28-year-old girlfriend, right, a blonde or a brunette. And she said, like, if you take this today, I'll guarantee you a 30,000-mile divorce. Right? No, not for me. Anyhow, I thought, just grow up, be practical. So I thought, get something that's practical, fun, has some storage, maybe all-wheel drive. So I got this car that everyone's driving, the gluten-free Portlander from Subaru. Yeah, you know the car. I'm looking at Jen. Yeah, the only problem I had with that car was the only radio station it had was NPR. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused. Anyhow, so I finally asked my wife, I said, okay, I can't make a decision. What kind of car do you think I should get? And she's like, you don't need a car, right? You need something with a little more power, right? I mean, something with a little more oomph in the engine, right? Like that manly truck that our neighbor has. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what she was telling me, right? I mean, I've always been more into fun size power. But anyhow, I'm like, what the hell? I'm gonna try this out. So I go find the biggest, baddest ass truck I can find. I mean, 5.7 liter, 2-ton Hemi is what I'm talking. Right, I have no idea what that means, but doesn't that sound impressive? I mean, those numbers. Yeah, so I like get in the top of that thing, and oh my God, you're driving it, and you're looking down at all the people, right, in cars, and you're like, you park that thing, you take up three parking spaces. I mean, I didn't even care. I mean, I'm sitting in there, and I'm like, I totally see why you could understand right? The right to life and capital punishment. It makes total sense. Those two things go together. I mean, that thing was huge. It was goddamn Donald Trump. Right, anyhow, thank you. I'm Joe Campbell.